Hello everyone, it's Sabrina Jean, and I am back with another pick a card reading. This one is about your career, job, finances, or the next phase of your life. For those of you who don't work or not trying to get another job, then the next phase of your life as far as your happiness is concerned. These are the messages for you. So this is what you need to know. And you have 4 piles as usual to choose from. So choose whichever pile or crystal is getting your attention the most to find out what you need to know about your happiness, your career, your job, and money. Pile number 1 is a Carnelian crystal. Pile 2 is an Apatite. Pile 3 is a pink Fluorite. And pile 4 is a blue Fluorite. So, this phase or the next phase of your life, what do you need to know? Again, take a moment to choose your pile or your crystal. Let me fix my camera here and let's get started. Pile 1. Okay, hello pile 1. What do you need to know about this next phase of your life, about career, money, finances, job, happiness? If you chose the Carnelian crystal, I'm going to put it over here. And let's just take a look at your cards. Your oracle cards really quickly. Forgive, full moon in Pisces. Here, let me put this over here. And trust the universe. So something is definitely changing in your life or your career. In fact, here we go. Wait. Okay. All right, pardon me, I paused the video so that I could get the setting just right. Let me just lay out all of your cards first. You are ready for more. The message on this oracle card says, your career is growing and blossoming. Now is the time to make the changes that you have been contemplating. And so, technically, I'm basing this pick a card reading off of particular astrology transits that we all experience. This is a 12-year transit as far as work or happiness or career is concerned. And similar to the moon phases, we all experience these same timelines and phases as far as career or the highlight of our happiness is concerned. So usually when at the very beginning of a 12-year cycle that's affecting your career, it's the opportunity for you to explore all things new. And similar that the full moon would be like halfway through the moon cycle. If you chose pile 1, many of you might be halfway through your 12-year cycle of growth as far as career and finances are concerned. But here it says you're ready to take on more and your career is growing and it's blossoming. So I'm going to assume that as far as your career cycle is concerned, you are somewhere in the middle. So these cycles go in like 1.5 phases. And so I would guess that you are at year 3 of this career cycle. And so what this means is that you've probably been in your current phase. Let's just say that you're like 2.5 years in, or maybe 3 years into this new career. But you're ready. You've already learned what you can as far as this kind of work that you're doing, or we can use this as your relationship, right? But now you're ready to step into a higher role where you can take on more responsibility, become more productive. And so it's almost a time for you to start becoming more productive. So For some of you, you might be bored with what you're doing at your job, and it's a perfect opportunity for you to apply for a promotion or to take on a management role or something that's more hands-on, because technically you've learned what you needed to learn and you should be able to do your work independently. Now, for some of you, this could be resonating with your business, a business that you're building. And so at the beginning of this phase, you may have come up with this brilliant new idea. And then the second year and a half of the phase, you were doing all the research work and you're experimenting and you're doing different things and you're trying things out. And then the phase that I think you're in right now is like, okay, you've got a pretty good idea what it is that you want to do as far as career is concerned. But you're ready to take on more responsibility. It's the best way I can describe these phases. And again, this is an astrology cycle that each one of us actually experiences. And by the way, before I started pulling out cards, I looked at general evolutionary astrology to see when this last cycle or this reset button affected all of us. And guess what? It was in December of 2020, right in the middle of COVID. So the universe already pushed a reset button and it started its own universal cycle in 2020. But yours, I'm trying to get more specific. So what else do we need to know about your career, your happiness, and money? So at this time, this Aries card is asking you to assert yourself, meaning it's time for you to take on more responsibility, try new things. If you have your own business, then you're meaning to be taking your business up to a whole new level and doing your own thing. And here we have, it's the 6th house. So again, taking on more responsibility. For those of you who are looking for a full-time job, it's very possible that soon you're going to receive an opportunity to get a new job. And this wouldn't be an entry-level job. This would be a kind of job that you already know how to do it. And so it's not necessarily, I guess it could be a management kind of position in this new role. And then we also have Pluto here. So Pluto is very interesting in the astrology chart as far as transitions are concerned, because in a sense, we can interpret Pluto's transits as what your soul wants to learn. And if by chance in your astrology transits, Pluto is currently transiting your 6th house, it's meaning it's time for you to take on more responsibility. Now, your career of choice or the kind of work that you prefer to do is really up to you, but the 6th house could be referring to health and well-being. Maybe some of you are interested in massage therapy or, something to do with healthy eating or exercise, physical exercise, lifestyles, healthy lifestyles, that sort of thing. If you're a homemaker or if you are a wife or a mother, and you have full-time responsibilities at home, this would be the time in your life that you are about to take on more responsibility for taking care of the home and the people within it. So for some of you, again, who don't have a career or a job, you might be finding yourselves helping out family members who need assistance, or somebody is experiencing debilitation or a health problem and they need your assistance. And so this would be you taking on more responsibility to help someone else who isn't able to take care of their own health and well-being. And I'm thinking this may be resonating with some of you or many of you. You may even consider starting your own business practice that nurtures positive health practices and habits. or actually for those of you who enjoy herbs and herbal remedies and that sort of thing, these are all just things for you to consider. It's time for you to increase your knowledge. And again, if you don't work, if you don't have a career, some of you may actually experience, how do I want to call this? Changes in your health that require your full-time attention. So remember, this is just a general pick a card reading, and I'm throwing out here the many different ways that these things could show up in your life at this time or this next phase. I'm thinking if you were drawn to this pile, then you're probably already in this phase and you're wondering, what is going on with your health, or what is going on with your career, what is going on with your finances. So many of you, I would think, would be time in a career like taking a full-time job at a hospital or as a caretaker. Even if your health is being affected at the moment, then you may be finding yourself right now tending to your own health. And I think you understand what these mean. So if you are concerned about your finances in this current situation, and technically as far as phases are concerned, and cycles, you're probably entering the phase where you're able to enjoy more fullness and happiness and taking on more responsibilities, or like a management role in your life. So some of you might be right in the middle of a career already. What do you need to know about your finances? And honestly, if you are struggling with career or changes or options or your health, and you would like specific information based on your astrology, do consider you can request a private reading from myself, and I would be happy to do a transit reading for you to let you know exactly what's going on and exactly what phase you're experiencing at this time as far as your career or your health is concerned. Honestly, Spirit guides are saying there is absolutely nothing for you to worry about as far as your finances are concerned. You should be realizing at this time that you have enough money, or you are making enough money, or if you're receiving benefits from somewhere else, or if you're relying upon somebody else's income, like your spouse or family, there really is nothing for you to worry about. Of course, you don't want to overspend, right? So be mindful of your finances and the money that you're spending, but everything should be okay in the financial sector of your life at this time. So in fact, you're ready to take on more. So for some of you who are already, again, in business or you're working, it's very possible many of you will be getting a raise or a promotion, or you'll be stepping into like a higher level at the job that you're currently working at. So I hope you enjoyed this variety of pick a card reading. If you did, please do click the like button. Again, if you are curious about your specific cycle, feel free to reach out to me and request a private reading. My links are all down below. But again, nothing really for you to worry about. If your health is declining, do try to pay attention to that, because usually health issues arise, for other deeper reasons and things that are happening in our life path, and our purpose as well, something more for us to learn from. Anyway, Pile 1, I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, please do click the like button. You're always welcome to comment as well. So have a wonderful day, and if you're drawn to another pile, then do feel free to pick another pile, and I will see you over there as well. Hello, group number 2. If you were drawn to the Apatite crystal, so this next phase of your life, what do you need to know about career or finances, money, or for those of you who aren't working, your happiness enjoying the fullness of your life? What phase are you in or entering into? So let's look at your oracle cards first, and then I'll go into more detail. Okay, last quarter moon, Gemini, clear your mind. So even if this is a phase in your life, these are like moon phases, but the phases I'm referring to in this pick a card reading are more connected to a 12-year cycles in astrology, but being interpreted through pick a card reading. So clear your mind. It's time for you to it's time for you to clean out the closet, let go of, okay. This is how I would pick up on this. So in astrology transits, we all go through a particular 12-year phase and cycle that affects career specifically. And again, for those of you who don't work, but you're just, maybe you are feeling like you're missing out on something, or you're not currently happy in your life, or no longer fulfilled, or you're missing out on something, you're looking for something more, then what's happening here is that honestly, you're meant to be taking a break. So if you chose pile 2 and you're in between jobs or in between careers, this is exactly where you're supposed to be as far as the cycles and the themes and the purpose of your life is concerned. It's almost as if you've been there and done that. And whether you quit your last job, or you were laid off, or you were fired, you were let go for whatever reason, it's almost as if the old, or the kind of jobs that you used to take on are really no longer supporting you on your life's journey anyway, and so you may be finding yourself in between. So this moon in Cancer and moon in Gemini, the spirit guides are saying, okay, well, you've reached the fullness or the heights of either your life or a particular kind of career, and there's nothing more there for you to learn. So it's more about like the disseminating moon, right? The waning moon, where it's like about releasing and letting go and integrating, and this could be affecting like the time in your life as well, where you're reflecting. Technically, you're in between an old cycle and a new cycle. So again, whether you take care of your home and your children, right, and your husband, or maybe you have other people that are the ones who make the money, doesn't matter if this is, now I can't even talk correctly. Doesn't matter if you are working or if it's just like a phase in your life, is what I'm trying to say. These messages should still resonate for you to let you know why you're feeling what you're feeling or what you're experiencing. Okay, let go of your fear and worry for your loved ones. I am looking after them. So this is a message from Archangel Michael. How many of you are ready to do something different? Are you ready to take on something more? Or maybe you've been out of work, maybe you've been off because you had children and you're looking to go back to work, but you're worrying about it. But right now, again, it's more about reflecting and letting go of your fears, but it's not necessarily quite the time for you to go back into the career field or the work industry, because there's still something that you need to clarify for yourself before you make that big decision. So this could also be describing why you're in between jobs. What else do we need to know for group number 2? So Jupiter, Scorpio. So this is like blessings, prayers, interesting, and your desires. It makes me feel like, for all of you who chose pile 2, you've been praying for something to change, or praying for a new job or a career, or praying for more money or an increase in your finances. But as far as astrology is concerned, and you might want to look at your own astrological transits because they are relevant. You are safe in your life right now. The bigger picture, this is what you needed to hear. Pile number 2. Jupiter is probably transiting your second house in astrology, which protects your money, it protects your finances. Or perhaps it's moving through your first house. It could be, honestly, it could be anywhere in your astrology chart. Jupiter could be transiting your 8th house. In fact, Saturn could be transiting your 8th house, meaning it doesn't matter who is transiting what house, you are safe, you are protected, you're going to have enough, there's nothing for you to fear. So if you're wondering if you're going to have enough money, there's nothing for you to fear. And if you watch a lot of picket card readings, I'm hoping that you're choosing piles that are also telling you there's nothing for you to fear. You're going through a transition, and there are some things that we just really have no control over, especially if you're experiencing like a midlife thing or a particular kind of transition in your astrology where, the old is just no longer making you happy anymore. And you're not quite ready for something new, or if you are, it's really important for you to pay attention to what it is that you will really enjoy, the kind of work that will be more fulfilling. And again, if you don't have a career, you don't need a job, then there are some other activities that you can take on in your daily routine, like especially if you have children at home, there's something that is there that you can learn. Jupiter is here to help you expand your knowledge or find more ways to have fun, maybe search your soul to rediscover who you are or what you prefer to be doing as far as work is concerned. So you almost might feel like, I would think if I chose pile number 2, I would be feeling, oh my gosh, I need to do something. I'm not feeling like I'm doing my part. I don't feel like I'm making enough money, or I feel like I need to be doing something else. But if nothing is like evidently there in front of you, giving you an offer or an opportunity, then usually it's life putting you in this position like the Hanged Man, where you're supposed to be taking this time to reconsider what is most important to you at this time in your life. So some of you could be going through some far-reaching changes in your life right now. Again, there's nothing to fear. Trust that you're always going to have enough and you're always going to be supported because you are blessed by Jupiter. So if it makes you feel better to continue to pray, of course, I think it makes us all better when we connect with the angels or the spirit guides. Okay, what else do you need to know about money? Wow. This 10 of Wands in Saturn, it's saying your situation might feel heavy, or maybe you're taking on too much burden or worry that really isn't even necessary. If you stop and notice that you do have enough money to pay for what you actually need. Some of the phases and cycles that we go through in life, it limits the amount of money we're able to earn at any particular time. And usually these are the challenges that force us to become stronger or to feel more secure. It kind of puts our insecurities out there on the table, right? It makes us face our fears, especially sometimes in our darkest hours, like, oh my gosh, well, what will happen if, but if the worst hasn't happened and your mind just keeps worrying or stressing over something that it doesn't even need to be stressing about, you know what I mean? It's almost like the mind wants to create something to do or something to think about or something to worry about when there really isn't anything that needs to be worried about. Except you, tending to you and nurturing yourself. And it's almost like you're in the perfect spot to, choose what you want to do next in the next phase of your life. Or if you are going back to work, if you don't have to rush back into like working again, then there really is no need to it. And see, now you've got the Ten of Swords. So these are also confirming that you have ended a cycle in a huge phase in your life and you haven't yet started a new cycle. And I don't know if I already said this at the beginning of the pile, but when I'm talking about cycles in astrology, this is a 12-year cycle. It's a career cycle. We all go through this. Now, some people experience a lot of huge changes and transition in career, but for other people, they may already be in a career, and maybe it's been a career that you've been working in for, I don't know, a really long time, and maybe it's just no longer fulfilling. And so there are always things that you can do. You can make small adjustments in how you approach your work. There are small things that you can do to try and make your work exciting again. Or again, if you are at home full-time, then there are always things that you can do, to make your daily routine more interesting or exciting, or there's always something more that can be learned. So this phase, again, group 2, I'm feeling like you're in between and it's almost like, should I stay or should I go? Some of you might be thinking about leaving your job. So if there's something else that you can do that can help you to learn a different kind of work, then ultimately you have to make the choice for yourself. But again, if you're worrying about things that you really don't need to be worrying about right now, then maybe try and give yourself a break and stop overanalyzing too much. Right? I think we all do it. So nothing to fear, something more to learn about your current situation. I hope you enjoyed these messages. If you did, please do click the like button. If you're interested in an actual astrology transit chart, if you're looking for more information about your career, and even if it's not your career or your business, if you are experiencing a phase in your life and you're just not happy, but you don't know what to do, then this would be describing you too. If you would like an actual reading, feel free to reach out to me, and I would love to share more specific information with you, as well as timelines, what more you need to know about your current personal situation. So feel free to reach out to me if you're interested in that. Meanwhile, have an awesome day, and I will see you all again in another video. Bye for now. Hello, group number 3. If you chose this pink fluorite crystal. Okay, so what do you need to know about money, career, job, or if you don't work, if you're not feeling happy about your life, or you're no longer feeling fulfilled, then this is the pick a card reading for you. So what do you need to know? Group 3, especially what you need to know about money and your finances as well. Okay, so there's Taurus full moon, detoxify. And I will come back and interpret the cards in just a moment. And first quarter moon, Cancer, push through any security. So what intrigued me to create this pick a card reading was something that I recently learned about 12-year cycles in astrology that affect our careers. And so let me look at your other cards. Take control of your thoughts. So this 12-year cycle that affects career, finances, money, income. Or it could even just be like your happiness. For those of you who don't work, or you work at home, or you have a business. So the career phases in astrology that are 12 years can be compared similarly to the moon cycles. Of course, the moon moves way faster to get through all of its cycles. It moves through its cycles, every month, technically. But the full moon usually means that you have reached the fullness or the max potential of everything that you could have learned from your job or your career or life if you don't work. But there's also first quarter moon, meaning when it's saying here to push through your insecurities, I'm feeling like if this is your job or your career, you've probably been in a particular career or a job for quite some time now. But it's reaching its max potential as far as what all you can learn from it, or the happiness that you can receive from it, or the fulfillment that you're getting from at this time of your life or in your career and your finances. And so there are certain insecurities that are, maybe this is something that you're worrying about, but how I'm picking up on this Cancer energy is like maybe the work that you're doing or the life that you're living is just no longer fulfilling. And it's just the fact that life and work isn't fulfilling you anymore. You're no longer finding happiness or purpose in that. It's coming to a point where it's just so overwhelming. Interesting that this Archangel Michael card is asking you to take control of your thoughts, because excessive thinking or analyzing or overthinking can cause stress, anxiety, and even insecurity. But the message here for group 3 is saying your thoughts are creating your reality. Have faith and stay focused on the outcome that you truly desire. Meaning, if your work is overwhelming you and it's causing your mind to stress out, then your mind is technically going to start attracting more things for you to worry about, when there probably isn't anything that you need to be worrying about at all. So this is Law of Attraction 101. Notice how you've got the key, there's a heart, there's a lock in the door. And this too kind of adds to what I was picking up on as far as fulfillment is concerned. Maybe you're no longer getting satisfaction in the job that you're doing, or the career, or maybe you're no longer happy at home or staying at home, especially if you are a stay-at-home mom. Maybe you're in between careers. Maybe being the housekeeper and the caretaker of everyone in the home has been your full-time job, and it's just not making you happy anymore. So what more do we need to know? Pile number 3, and especially you're probably drawn to this pick a card reading because maybe you're worrying about money or finances, and that's what you want to also know about as far as your career and finances and your income are concerned. Interesting how you have the second house astrology oracle in your pile, and this refers to your finances, what you value, what you believe, your dreams. Okay, and communication, and right, and many thoughts or too many thoughts, the awareness of. So this is what I'm picking up as far as your messages are concerned. Again, keep in mind whether you are in a career or you're in between careers, or you're looking to go back into the work field. In the bigger picture, I see you at an impasse. Is that how I call it? It's like, it's contradicting. You want to make more money, but you're really not looking forward to going back into the workplace. I don't blame you, by the way, especially if the workplace is toxic. So some of you might be experiencing a conundrum. You know what you want to do, you know what you need to do, you're wanting to earn more. But perhaps there aren't any options as far as taking a job is concerned that really aren't interesting you. And so this is what I find interesting with your cards, pile number 3, is that these messages, including Archangel Michael, are saying to me that you are in a perfect position to create your own work from home. Either you can find a job where you can work from home, you don't have to go into an office, or you're in a perfect place to start a business that will allow you to make extra money. It really kind of depends on how much money you're needing to earn right now. And I haven't pulled cards yet as far as your money situation is concerned. I will get to that in just a minute. But you're in the perfect space. Instead of going back to work or taking a different kind of job or taking on more responsibility at work, which is just overwhelming, you're probably wishing that you were doing something else, right? Or maybe you're watching a lot of videos on the internet or YouTube, and people are saying, look, I found my way to freedom, and I'm making money doing my side gig, or I'm having fun, practicing my hobby, and I'm making money. And I'm thinking that you are probably thinking the same thing. What could I do? Is this possible for me too? Well, and your spirit guides are saying, yes, if you're thinking it, it's possible. But what's most important is for you to take control of your thoughts. Don't worry, don't stress. Don't allow your current situation to overwhelm you, because that will just sink you deeper into that pit of yuck. Right? It makes me think of the movie The Princess Bride, the pit of despair. That's what they call it, the pit of despair. The mind can actually cause, trust me, I've been there. Me no like pit of despair. So, when you take the time to redirect your thinking and you start asking yourself, what could I do if I had my own business? What should I sell? What am I good at? And start asking yourself, what would you rather be doing? What would be a fun way for you to earn an income? And there's so many people who are starting up their own businesses now and creating their own income stream in a multitude of ways. And so, yeah, you too. You can. Why not? So maybe something for you to think about, reconsider, shift your focus on creating something that you can do from home instead. So if you found this and you're working from home and you're still looking to expand your finances, with this card here, push through any insecurities. These are saying that there's still probably something that you can do or that you can promote. There's something that you haven't tried. Put yourself out there, do something different, because this will also probably help you to earn more money or earn extra income doing your own thing. Or you can make money while living your dream. But first, you have to build your dream. And then you just have to start living it. And then find a way to share your dream with other people. And that's where you make money from it. Isn't it? Law of attraction, right? All the people out there saying, you can manifest. But everyone manifests differently. I really hope all of you understand this. And, because I even fell for some of those people in the past when, well, let me just put it this way. I, too, watched too many things that were saying that, I was going to hit a lottery, or I was going to this, or I was going to that. And I fell for it, but it didn't happen. It doesn't mean that it's not going to be the same for you. But it's easy to get, we want to hear what we want to hear because it makes us feel better. But when we get realistic about it, really the only way that we can take charge and control over the finances in our lives is when we take it into our own hands. And so you've got the Knight of Cups here, which perfectly describes taking things into your own hands. Okay, the Moon, So now we're asking about what you need to know about your financial situation. Group number 3, at least for right now, High Priestess. Oh, okay. Pile 3. These cards are saying you have an intuitive gift. When you get to a point where you feel confident with that gift, that's where you can start being your own business or making money on the side. Right, Page of Pentacles. Try something new. Let me put this over here. But you must put yourself out there. It's something that you must offer. And what's interesting is, like, I've done many private readings for people who are even more intuitive than I am. I wouldn't consider myself clairvoyant. I'm not one of those psychics that just like instantly sees, instantly knows. I need to use my emotion, my gut, my instinct, my intuition, and other things like tarot, astrology, numerology. So, but that's what I'm picking up for group 3. You have the ability to do that. As far as like, I'm not getting any messages saying that you need to be worrying about your finances at all. There's nothing for you to worry about. Yeah, so even the King of Swords is like, take control of your situation and do your own thing. But you are like at a point in life or career or the job that you're currently working where it's just, maybe you don't have enough free time to spend at home or with family. Maybe you're longing to have more time to do more of the things that you love. Maybe you might consider, backing away and taking just a part-time job. There are so many more options available to us now than were even available to us 10 years ago. This wasn't really quite possible for us to be working from home or, creating our own income online even. So this is still a new thing as far as, life and society is concerned. Anyway, Pile 3, I apologize if I went off point, but I'm hoping these messages, are resonating for you, and maybe you heard something that you needed to hear. It really just requires a little bit of time and, dedication and, really search yourself. What could you do to work from a home? There are more options and opportunities out there for you to explore. And even with this key and the lock here, it's like you hold the key. It's up to you to choose to look for something new or to create something of your own, make your own wishes and your dreams come true, and make money off of it too. So I hope you enjoyed this video reading. If you did, please do click the like button. You're always welcome to comment as well. Meanwhile, if anyone's interested in a private reading or a spiritual coach or something to that effect, if you want more information, about your cycles, your career cycles, or your astrology, or any transit you're currently experiencing, changes, and you'd like a reading, feel free to reach out to me. My links are down below the video. Meanwhile, have a wonderful day, and I will see you again in another video. Bye for now. Hey there, pile number 4. If you were drawn to the blue fluorite crystal. Okay, so this pick a card reading is about your career, money, finances, this next phase of your life, or if there's something changing, what do you need to know about career and money? Or even those of you who don't work, who don't have a career, this reading is about your happiness or fulfillment. Maybe you're no longer happy in your life, or you're going through some sort of transition and you're wanting to know more information, or heck, maybe you're just hoping to hear something happy, that will make you feel better. I accept this challenge. Okay, so let me look at your oracle cards really quickly. So last quarter moon in Libra, make time for self-love. I'm hoping that the lighting is okay, that you can see the images in the cards. Release your blocks. First quarter. So it's like last quarter, first quarter. Interesting. So there's something deep that we need to get more information on. As far as astrology cycles are concerned and career, what I'm referring to and what inspired me to create this pick a card reading, there's 12-year cycle. These are career cycles in our lives. And so even if you don't have a job, you don't work, or you've never worked and you've been someone that stays at home, or you have children, or you're taking care of your family, etc., these phases affect all of us. So sometimes we get to a point in our life where we're just no longer happy and we need something different or something new. So in your case, you're in between. Okay, so the first quarter moon, the reason why I'm using the moon cards is because this 12-year cycle in astrology is similar to the moon cycles, although the moon moves through its cycles way faster than 12 years. But this would mean that you're like at the half point of your career if you are working, meaning you've reached the extent of like the excitement of the job or the work that you're doing. You're probably at a cap as far as how much money you're able to earn at your job. Or if this is referring to your personal life or your relationship, maybe the relationship has just reached its capacity and it's no longer fulfilling or exciting, or you see what I mean. Make time. These are saying it's time for you to make room for yourself. Take some time to yourself. Make time for, well, self-love. And there are blockages here. So this really does describe what I was just saying. It's like you feel like there's something more, or maybe some of you are feeling blocked. So there's something deeper that's going on here that needs to be released. So the Archangel Michael deck, of course, the angels of healing are with you now. So pile 4, right now, at this time in your life, or this time in your career or your job, it's meant to be healing, meaning there's a healing energy releasing you from something or these blockages that is about to bless your life, so that you can find more fulfillment or happiness in your current situation. So Archangel Raphael is trying to clear your energy. He's sending you healing light. And Archangel Michael is bringing you strength, or the ability to go deeper, to cut ties. Maybe there's something that you need to cut ties with. Maybe there's something that you should be letting go of or ending. So I'm not saying you should end your career or end your relationship, but there's like a feeling of loss. And maybe it's time for you to just get that spark back into your relationship, or that spark back into your career, or that spark back into your daily routine at home. Nevertheless, there's something missing, but it is waiting for you to find it. But of course, you need to seek it too. So let's look at your other cards and see what else is going on. Okay. So Uranus, the planet, is causing an unexpected change. So it could also be a longer transit. Actually, I think Uranus transits last like 8 to 10 years. But it could be moving through a particular chart in your astrology. Okay. You're meant to be taking creative leadership with something. to change your life, to find more happiness, to find more fulfillment. Okay, and then creativity. So 5th house refers to creativity, or it could also have something to do with your relationship with children, or maybe it's time for some of you to start having children. Maybe that's what's going to bring that spark back into your relationship or into your life, into your home routine. Everything's up in the air. This is just general pick a card reading. So I'm throwing out there many different options or opportunities for you, something for you to think about, especially if you're no longer feeling fulfilled, if you're no longer feeling loved or appreciated, whether this is job or home or marriage or family. Everything in your astrology right now is supporting you with new ideas and curiosity and excitement. It's trying to get your attention. It's helping you to find more ways to have fun or to create fun in your life, in your daily routine. And even if this is your career and you're so bored with it, because it's so routine, you can still find a way to stir up the situation and make your job fun. Again, it really just depends on how you approach your job or your responsibilities. You see what I mean? So this segment of your life or your career, soon, like over the next year or so, it might feel to you like the job or the work is just no longer rewarding. And so change is happening in your life to stimulate you to try something new or to start something new or to do something different. So this is what needs to stir up your situation. And really that choice is up to you to make that decision. So what is stopping you? What is blocking you? What more is out there that is waiting for you to discover it? Or if you're looking into a changing your career field, all you need to do is just start looking for new work. Or, again, if you're not worried about having a job or that sort of thing, then get creative with your daily routine and just start changing the way you approach your daily life in general. Make it more fun for yourself, because really everything comes back down to you and how you choose to start each day. There's always something that you can do to stir up the situation, or to make yourself laugh, or to make everybody else laugh, or to get creative and find more fun in this daily routine that maybe it's just gotten really boring for you. So these are just ideas, options. Wow. Pile number 4. So if you're concerned about money or finances, I'm going to pull some tarot cards for you now. Messages from your spirit guides. It's funny how justice jumped right out of that. And it wasn't spirit, it was because my fingers are short and my hands are small and I can't always contain the cards. I don't always maintain control over the cards in my hand. Okay, so 8 of... Interesting is like you may not see any other options, but Jupiter is blessing your life right now with new information or opportunities to learn. There's something new that is trying to get your attention, and maybe you just haven't noticed it yet. The Emperor, right? Assert yourself, try something new, go in a different direction, or maybe you want to take on more responsibility at work or more responsibility at home. Again, some of you might be considering having children. That would definitely spark up life, wouldn't it? You have the number 8, Leo, having fun. And the Hanged One. Okay, interesting. So, pile 4. Sorry, but what you're experiencing right now is what I call life lessons. Sometimes Spirit puts us in the spot. It puts us in a spot. Notice you've got the number 44 here. So your money and your finances are protected at the moment. There isn't anything for you to worry about or stress about, but the more you stress about it, the more problems you're actually going to cause yourself. But you're definitely going through some sort of shift or transition. Unexpected changes are happening. Maybe your income is fluctuating as well, but it's all happening for a reason. And this is probably also something that is happening in your astrology transits, because astrology transits are what create the environment in our reality, and then how we deal with the things that are thrown our way that we're experiencing is really up to us. We can choose to look at it from a positive perspective. We can take it on and challenge ourselves, or we can allow it to make us feel like a victim. But a lot of the times, especially for those of you who might be feeling stuck, it's because this is a very important time in your life where you're supposed to be gaining a higher perspective. You're supposed to be thinking deeper about your situation. It could be like a midlife transition. Remember, over here, you've got blocks here. This Scorpio, there's something deeper that is happening behind the scenes. In fact, oh my gosh, I'm just now noticing the eights. 888 is your lucky number. Even 88. 88, 44, and 888 should already tell you what you need to know about your finances at the moment. But what happens is, especially if you're in a phase of life where you feel in between, or you're stuck, or you're unsatisfied, or your hands are tied, right? Maybe you don't have the money to go out and do something else, but you're not quite sure what to do. It's one of your life lessons that is challenging you to find a way to have more fun and get creative, even if you are restricted. Like if you're stuck in your home, or you're bored with your job, but you can't leave your job, right? Or you're bored with your relationship, but you can't leave your relationship, then there's something deeper that is waiting for you to access that. This is new information. This is new ideas. There's always, these could even be epiphanies that you can tune into, meditate, connect with your angels, the spirit guides, your higher self. There's new information. There's unexpected changes happening in the bigger picture and theme of your life in its entirety. Yes, I'm getting that from just these cards. So it's astrology. It has something to do with finances and money, but your beliefs and your fears are probably also being tested right now. So you might want to question, what do you actually believe? Or what are you experiencing that is causing you to feel fear? You should be feeling safe, stable, and abundant. But how are you feeling right now in yourself, in your life, in your body? Pile number 4, that's the question of the day. So there are healing opportunities available as well. Allow Archangel Raphael to send you his emerald green healing light. Allow Archangel Michael to enhance your strength to cut ties, or to help you to release blockages that are preventing you from seeing the truth or the next step, or however these messages are resonating for you. There's always a way out of a situation. There's always more that we can learn. There's always a way that we can grow from our experiences, especially if you feel like your hands are tied. Check this out. You've got 2 cards here. Your hands are tied behind your back. How many of you noticed that? Over here, you're free. Over here, you're free. Over here, you're free. It's just your mind that's making you think that you're stuck. But actually, you're free. Interesting messages, pile number 4. I hope you enjoyed your pick a card reading. Remember, this is general, so take what resonates. But I hope these help you. If you enjoyed the video, please do click the like button. If you need a private reading, feel free to reach out to me. I would be more than happy to share more astrological or life path transition, change kind of information for you based on your cycles. I can help you understand the timeline of things, or what's happening, or even what's changing, especially if you feel like you're the one who's changing and you don't quite understand what's happening. The more you can learn, the better, the more capable you will be in navigating life's changes. So it really is up to you. How much do you really want to know? Pile 4, bless you. That came from the angels. So I hope you enjoyed this. I wish you all a wonderful day, and I will see you all again in another video. Bye for now.